You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Sunday afternoon action here on SportsLink Digital Radio. The Ball State Cardinals getting ready to take on the Ohio Bobcats as the 2024 soccer regular season in the Mid-American Conference gets ready to hit its final stages. Griffin here with Max and Maxwell Gillie. We've got an entertaining battle between two teams with a lot of recent history. Ohio ending Ball State's season in the fall of 2023. But these two teams are different, and these two teams have been on very interesting trajectories in the conference season since.
Yes, when you look at Ohio this year, they are undefeated. 3 wins, 3 draws, 8-1-4 overall. Meanwhile, Ball State only has 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, but they have yet to win here at home in Griner when it comes to some MAC play. So the big thing is they would definitely like to be able to get some wins, and they haven't really been able to score that much either. Only 2 goals in MAC play, and they both come from Addie Chester.
Yeah, well, the last time you and I had a call for one of these, it was the Ball State Conference opener. It was an opportunity against Bowling Green for the Cardinals to really kick off conference play on a hot start, and that hasn't been what we've seen. They've dropped two matches here in conference play, and as you mentioned, they've only scored 2 goals, both coming from Addie Chester. It's been a tough going for a Ball State soccer team that had a lot of expectations coming into this season, picked to finish second, and right now sitting in 6th place, right on the cusp of not even making the postseason.
Yeah, so the big thing is that right now it's not time to panic or throw any alarms or anything yet. There's still a couple more games left, but this is a Ball State team that we've seen they have some talent. We've seen they've been able to score. I mean, you remember back to the Queens game and the IU Indy game, 13 combined goals in that one. Now, we've seen how difficult this MAC conference has been, one of the better mid-major conferences, but still, this is a Ball State team that coming into the tournament last year was kind of thought to be one of the better teams, and then Ohio ended up getting the upset there. So Ball State would like to maybe do something similar.
Yeah, the Ohio Bobcats, coached by Aaron Rodgers, it's a team that won the Mid-American Conference tournament last year. There's no doubt about it that at the time it was an upset. It was a Cinderella run. They were the 6th seed out of 6, and they climbed the mountain. But now this is an Ohio team that's sitting in 3rd place in the Mid-American Conference. They're a team with a lot of confidence, playing very well as of late, and a dangerous team coming into Muncie today that the Cardinals have a tough matchup against to try to build some form of their own.
Definitely, this is an Ohio team that is returning a lot of their starters from last year, and this is a team in general that is very similar to last year. So that's one thing Aaron Rodgers has talked about, but he's also talked about a little bit how they're able to be more creative now here with Ohio. They've been especially using their wings a lot more, which I know is something that he's enjoyed, and it's gone from having maybe 1 or 2 players consistently having to score to being a much more diverse team, which definitely leads to some success, and is one of the reasons why this Ohio team has been so good early in the season.
Yeah, unbeaten in their last 10 matches, Max. It's an Ohio team that has not lost in Mid-American Conference play. They've only lost 1 time all season, and it was early on at 8th nationally ranked Michigan State. Since entering MAC play, it's been 2 ties and then 3 wins and 4, with the other game being a tie to Kent State. This is a very dangerous Ohio Bobcats team. Ball State with their work cut out for them today, but at the end of the day, this is how the matchups are going to be as the season wraps up. There's 5 or 6 matches left in the regular season before the postseason. Getting 3 points, especially at home, is always important. But when you're trying to show that not only do you deserve to be in the tournament, but you can hang with any of these teams. It's a matchup like this that makes you think this is our time to shine and show we belong.
Exactly, and I mean, you look for those signature wins every single season, and with only a few weeks left in the season, when it comes to the playoffs, you look for a team that has a whole lot of momentum as a team that you would want to look towards. And for Ball State, they want to be that team that has wins going to the tournament, that has that positive momentum. And they want to be that team that's to start the year everyone thought they would be.
Well, you mentioned a key term in there, signature win. The last time these two teams played, it was the second time that they had played in 2023. The first time was here as well. It was a 2-2 draw that surprised a lot of people because Ball State had been on fire in the regular season last season. Ohio came in, got a point out of the affair, came back in the playoffs. That was their signature win. They shut down Ball State, winning 2-0. How does Ball State respond in a stretch of play where their defense has been stellar? Haven't given up a goal in 4 consecutive matches, but they haven't found ways to score. It can't just be Addie Chester. You have to get Avery Fenchel in. This is a team that has so many attacking options. You have Fenchel, you have Caldwell. Fenchel, who we thought was probably a shoo-in to take over the all-time list. She's still 4 away. She's got some work to do. The Cardinals have some work to do if they're going to make the Mid-American Conference Tournament and have a shot at hosting a game. And the following 90 minutes are going to be so crucial in determining how that's going to shake out. We're going to step aside for lineups and anthem. And when we return, the Ball State Cardinals will take on the Ohio Bobcats in what could be a very telling game in the midway stretch of the Mid-American Conference season. Griffin, Leonard, and Maxwell Gillie here on the call for you this afternoon. We cannot wait for the following 90. We'll see you in a minute here on SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is SportsLink Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State SportsLink.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Welcome back to the Briner Sports Complex as we get set for kickoff. Ball State and Ohio just about ready to get going from the Briner Sports Complex. Griffin, Leonard, Max Gillie, SL Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie as these two teams get set to kick off. Let's take you through the starting lineups for today's action. First, for the visiting Ohio Bobcats, they come out in the 3-5-2 that we're accustomed to seeing from them and Coach Aaron Rodgers. Celeste Sloma, the junior, is in net today for the Bobcats. Defensive three of Maya Solis, Nora Roush, and Maya Kaufman. All four of the defending bunch Ohioans themselves. Haley Jang and Eve Barish, the defensive midfielders. Rayanne Bross and Ella DeVeers, the wingers. Moving up to the attacking three for Ohio, Aubrey Ray down the middle, the graduate from Akron. And on the top wings, Jamison Brooker from Powell, Ohio, and Anna Burchett, the sophomore from Prestonburg, Kentucky. Those are the Ohio Bobcats. For the Ball State Cardinals, it's the same starting 11 that we've seen and become accustomed to over the last few matches. Grace Konopatsky is in goal for Ball State. The sophomore played in 90 minutes on Thursday, the first time in Mid-American Conference play that we have seen that from a Ball State goalkeeper. Defensive four of Maya Millis, Delaney Ahern, Audrey Goodyear, and Jordan Jeffers left to right. CDM of Katie Murphy, Emily Roburn, Caitlin Frazier down the middle in the midfield. Delaney Caldwell and Addie Chester occupy the wings. And up front, Avery Fenchel, the grad senior from Novi, Michigan. Those are Josh Rice's starting 11 for the Ball State Cardinals. The Cardinals, Max, wearing their home whites with the black numbers, red letters for Ohio on the other side in the all greens, green tops, green pants, green socks with the white letters and numbers. The Cardinals will go left to right in the first half on your radio dial. Ohio set to go right to left. Max, while we have a second here, first couple of minutes of the game, what are you watching for from the Ball State Cardinals on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, for the Ball State Cardinals, I want to actually see them get some shots on target. They've been able to get shots. They just have not been able to get in the back of the net. Seems like anyone not named Addie Chester has been missing. I'd like to see that get changed. And meanwhile, for Ohio, I want, if I'm an Ohio fan, to just see them do what they've been doing all year long. It's clearly been able to bring some success.
So the Cardinals looking to get started early. Head referee Sean West blows his whistle, and we are underway from Muncie, Indiana. The Cardinals working left to right, and their opening touches of the ball. Caitlin Frazier in the defensive third pushes it back to Delaney Ahern. Ahern working it to Katie Murphy, who settles under it, softly pressed by Brooker. She pushes it long to Caldwell, who tries to touch it on for Jordan Jeffers, but it's intercepted by Rayanne Pruss. Pruss back to her keeper, and Celeste Sloma takes the touch before delivering it right back. Ohio trying to work out of their own 18. It's Nora Roush to the near side, trying to play a pass on the touchline, but it's pushed out of play by Jordan Jeffers, and an Ohio throw inside the first 45 seconds. Caitlin Frazier wins the ball off the throw and slides it to Addie Chester, who's dispossessed cleanly by Eve Barish. Barish gets it to her left back but loses the ball. Able to win it back temporarily, Haley Zhang, who loses it out of bounds over the touchline. A Ball State throw on the near side just outside the 18-yard box. High throw in the direction of Chester. Chester and Jang fighting for it. Into the 18. Chester pushes it on, and a shot comes in from Avery Fenchel, but it misses to the near post. A goal kick, but Ball State getting active early.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're head coach Josh Reif. So far, I know we're only about 90 seconds in, but they've clearly dominated possession. Ball State hasn't. They already got a quick shot.
1 minute and a half into this one, 0-0, but Ball State registering the first shot of the game. And Ohio trying to work out of their own end. It's Maya Solis who plays a low ball to Haley Zhang. Zhang drops it off for Pruss. Pruss right along, going vertically up the field along the midfield line. Works it to the top half of the pitch. And that's Kaufman. Goes low, loses the ball to Roper, but the ball squirts free and is picked up by Aubrey Ray. Left wing to Pruss, who whips it in. Low service, but gloved and caught by Konopatsky. Ray was trying to find the cutting Burchett, who was flying into the near post, and found the keeper instead.
And the one thing you saw immediately was that communication from Ball State's defense, just showing you why they've been able to be so good so far in Mid-American Conference play.
As we mentioned pre-game, Ball State have not conceded in 4 straight matches, trying to make it 5 today against an Ohio team who knows how to spread out the scoring. Midfield pass from Ohio, taken down and settled by Jamison Brooker. Brooker pushes it back for Burchett, who beats Chester and takes a shot blocked by Goodyear on the outside of the 18. Now a service back in. It bounces twice into the arms of Konopatsky as it was too far out in front for Brooker, the sophomore.
And clearly Ohio has been getting some shots. Just the big thing, they have not been able to be quite accurate so far.
The roll goes to Murphy, who's lost possession. The ball's now cleared up into the air by Ahern, and now juggled for it and brought down by Chester. Frazier, after Chester hit the deck, but nothing was whistled. Cardinals slide it low for Roper, who plays it in the direction of Fenchel, and now a battle for possession on the far side of the pitch between her and that's Eve Barish. And Ohio able to win possession. In front of the Ohio bench, we have 3.5 minutes gone in this one. Halfway through the 4th minute of play, 0-0, as Ohio work it along the top half in front of the auxiliary scoring bench. Now in front of Coach Josh Reif. They go low to Brooker, who settles it down with a one-touch pass to the right wing, but it's poked out by Maya Millis off of the defender in Ella DeVeers, and Ball State win a throw.
So one of the things you've seen so far early in this one, why Ohio's been able to get those shots, it has been Eve Barish. She's been using her body, and right at midfield, she's been the reason why the Cardinals were struggling to get past midfield.
Cards get it to midfield off the throw, and a foul is going to be whistled on the far side. Just some soft contact, and we'll bring it back. Max, as we get through the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, who should we be watching for? Just one player from each side to watch for as we move on here.
Well, for Ohio, I want to take a look at Jamison Brooker. She has 3 goals, 6 assists in the MAC. That is 3rd in MAC. Meanwhile, Addie Chester, she's been great in Mid-American Conference play.
Couple of strikers to watch out for. Free click flies into the 18 and is quickly cleared away by the Bobcats. It'll be an attacking throw in front of the scoreboard and the United States flagpole on the far side of the field. Chester able to chop it onto her left foot, gives it back to Fenchel. To Chester once more, loses the ball, and Ohio trying to mount a counterattack. It's Anna Burchett, turns the corner and has some room. It's a foot race between her and Frazier with bodies coming. It's Brooker now on the right wing. 3 heading toward the box in green. It's Brooker trying to work to her left, get around Maya Millis, who is recovering to get back on defense. Slides it to her left. Switching the play for Barish. Barish going to tee it up from 35 yards, and it never really had a chance, whistling over the crossbar and out for a goal kick.
And that's one of those shots you're going to look back on and think, probably should have tried to get a pass or two before getting a big shot 35 yards out. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make that.
We're seeing an interesting change of formation from what was expected for Ball State as bodies jostling in possession going between the two sides of midfield. Now it's Caldwell, so we'll get back to that in a second. Delaney Caldwell stops the ball onto her left foot, goes low across the play, and that is Maya Millis. Millis to the center circle for Frazier. To Murphy, who one touch passes it right back to Frazier. out of the center circle for Ahern on the near side, just inside midfield. Chips it forward for Caldwell. It's headed clear as far as Addie Chester. Frazier trying to go low to Jordan Jeffers. It's intercepted on the left side by Maya Solis. Now Rayanne Pruss for Ohio, right on the near touchline, 5 yards from the line, and goes centrally to Nora Roush. Roush to her right for Kaufman. Kaufman going to midfield for Brooker. Brooker settles it down. Finds Barish. Barish loses the ball in the midfield. That's Goodyear. So the formation change I wanted to talk about here. Ball State they've almost reverted to 5 defenders here because we've seen Katie Murphy, and Max, I'm sure you can touch on this as well. Katie Murphy has played a lot of CDM this season. Right now, she is the center defender with Goodyear to her left and Ahern to her right. It looks like Ball State have moved to 5 in the back today.
And usually coaches will do that when they want to focus on defense. I mean, having 5 bodies back there is going to help. You've seen this Ohio offense be great this year. Makes sense as to why they would want to try and focus on stopping that Ohio attack.
A giveaway, and now a through ball to Caldwell, but it rolls away from her. Couldn't chase it down to Lainey Caldwell, and it's gloved by Sloma. But if it had slowed down, Caldwell would have been one-on-one on net.
And I think Caldwell did everything well. It was just her pass was one step too slow, and it ended up getting the ball turned over.
8 minutes gone. It's Haley Jang going low to Brooker. Brooker intercepted by Frazier. The ball's poked free for Frenchel, who goes hard at Frazier with a pass. They'll settle it down and go back to their defensive line. We enter the 9th minute of play, 0-0. 2 shots for Ohio after Ball State had the opening, but no goals either side. Fenchel receives the pass across the midfield line, goes ahead of Chester, who's racing to get there. It's a foot race between her and Maya Solis, and the ball trickles harmlessly over the end line and out for a goal kick. Ball State enjoying that through ball so far, but haven't quite been able to find the connection.
No, and the effort has been there. That's what you're going to want to be asking for, but I mean, for a Ball State team that is looking to get some wins, that's something that's going to need to be cleaned up as this game goes on.
9 minutes gone here at the Briner Sports Complex. 0-0 between Ball State and Ohio. A rematch of the first round of the 2023 Mid-American Conference Tournament, which saw Ohio win their first of a couple of games on their Cinderella run to a 2023 Mid-American Conference Tournament championship. It's Zhang, the junior, goes to the middle for Devers. Devers trying to get it to Burchett, but can't calm it down at her feet, loses the ball temporarily, gets it back. Burchett trying to turn around Ahern, gives it to Brooker. Brooker, guarded closely by Goodyear, tries to feed it to her right, and it's intercepted by Jeffers. Cardinals going the other way. It's Fenchel, who takes a heavy touch, and it's taken right back. Jamison Brooker on the attack for Ohio. Going to try to hit it from outside the box. Took a little tumble, and a foul called on Emily Roper, and that will be a dangerous free kick for the Bobcats about 7 yards outside of the 18-yard box.
And that is one of those frustrating calls when you are back on defense and you're just seeing a big call like that, giving a really close shot. So for Ohio, this is one of those moments where you may not have that many opportunities to get towards the back of the net, so you have to be accurate if you are going to be doing this kick.
Aubrey Ray will take the free kick. We're past 10 minutes gone in the first half. Ball State have 4 players on the wall. There's a right wing option for Ohio and 5 in the box. It's kicked in by Ray, and it's gloved by Konopatsky, who shuffled to her right and made the stop without leaving her feet.
What a great save by Konopatsky. And the big thing to remember is before this season, she was not getting a lot of playing time, but man, she seems like she's been out there for her entire Ball State career with a lot of experience. She's looked good this year.
Strike from Ray had a decent amount of power on it, but too centrally to challenge Konopatsky, who made the comfortable save. That's save number 1 for Grace in this match. And the first shot on goal registered by either side. Here's Jordan Jeffers, unable to keep it in on the near side, out for a throw-in for Ohio. 12th minute of play here in Briner. Near side throw bounces once and is brought down by Ray. Ray gives it to Burchett, who's double teamed and has to pass it out to Pruss. Pruss going over the top near side, trying to get Ray, who keeps it in, tries to volley it up over Katie Murphy, but Murphy recovers and flushes it down for the Cardinals to midfield. Near side possession, Cardinals working it back to the defensive line. It's Katie Murphy. Goes in between the defenders to Roper, whose pass is initially blocked. She gets it back and gives it to Jeffers. Konopatsky barking out instructions to switch the play. They do exactly that, and they get it to Goodyear on the far side. The sophomore from St. Louis slides it to Maya Millis, who's playing pretty far up the pitch as that left wing back. And it's interesting because we talked about the formation change, Max, but it's interesting to see how that affects the wing play for Ball State with both Millis and Jeffers getting farther up the field.
Yeah, so the big thing with the formation is obviously there's a lot more in the back, so they're going to be paying a whole lot more attention.
Here's Chester, made a defender slip. The shot's blocked, loose on top of the 18. Glove down, and a shot taken second, and it's in! Goal, BSU! And it's Avery Fenchel with a strong strike from 20 out and buries it. The Cardinals take the lead 12 and a half minutes into this contest.
That is exactly what you want to see if you are Coach Reif and the Ball State Cardinals. Beautiful pass, great shot, and already Ball State's able to be on the board, and you can already see a team huddle from Ohio. I don't think they were ready to give up a goal 12 minutes in.
The ball squirted loose on top of the 18. Fenchel brought it down with her right foot and found the top right corner. Beautiful strike from the Cardinals. They lead 1-0. It's Fenchel's first goal since the IU Indy match on September 12th. And she moves into a tie for third place all time on the Ball State scoring list.
Just an incredible career for Avery Fenchel so far, and still got a lot of games to see if she can get in the back of the net again.
13th minute goal for Fenchel. We talked about her and really the whole Ball State team, Max, in our open about trying to find other options besides Addie Chester. And it was Chester with the initial shot. It found one of her teammates, and Fenchel did what she does best.
And one of the things we've noticed early in this one is, man, Ohio has been super physical so far, which makes this one a whole lot more interesting for Ball State. They got to be prepared for that.
Ohio looking for the response, but it's given away by Barish. Fenchel will go back to her defenders. Going low to midfield for Chester, who's playing more centrally than we typically see her, normally on the right wing for the majority of the match, but she does like to move around and find space on the pitch. They go low Brooker as Ohio win possession, moving across midfield. It's Burchett. Burchett, 35 yards from goal, working to her right. Gives it to Kaufman, who's the right back in front of the Ball State bench. Goes low with the cross. Brought down by Pruss. Pruss going to try to hit it with the right. It's blocked by Roper. And it squirts to Fenchel, who gets it to Millis. Millis goes long with the clearance. And Ohio will have to start over. Kaufman finds a run through a couple of defenders. Goes right wing with the pass. Low ball, and it ends up catching the air a little bit. Goes high and out over the end line for a goal kick as it flew past the far post.
And that's another example where Ohio has tried to get a shot from super far out, and it just feels like they're trying to force shots, especially now that they're down 1-0. And I think Coach Rogers, if he would be talking to his team right now, he'd say, hey, don't force shots. Take the good shots, but don't force all the shots.
Audrey Goodyear on the left side gives it to Fenchel. Fenchel to Chester. Chester 15 yards outside of the box to Frazier, who goes right wing for Jeffers. Jordan Jeffers working on the defender onto her right foot, heading toward the end line. It's off the boot of the defender and out over the end line. It's a corner kick, Ball State's first, and the first corner kick for either team today as we approach the end of the 15th minute. Ball State with an opportunity from the set piece.
So at this point for Ball State, with these set pieces, it's seen that this is going to be going back and forth. So when it comes to this set piece, I would anticipate, of course, seeing a shot bout towards the middle.
It's Chester and Millis. Chester the one to take. She goes high, back post, trying to find Roper, who heads it down, loose outside of the 6, and it goes out, last touched by Delaney Caldwell. Our head referee, Sean West, initially pointed corner, thought better of it, and pointed to the 6. It'll be a goal kick for Ohio as they evade the danger.
Well, I can tell you that was a good corner kick. It was about everything you could get from the kick itself. It's just, man, that Ohio defense quickly stormed Ball State and made it impossible to try and get a shot.
Here's Addie Chester as Ball State win it at midfield. Across the center circle, they get it to the left for Fenchel. Fenchel to the wing for Millis. Millis directing traffic on the far side in front of Ohio substitutes. Back to midfield for Goodyear. Cardinals going to cycle it around left to right as Katie Murphy switches it for Jeffers. Jeffers wearing the captain's band on the left bicep. Her pass deflected and lost. That's Pruss who gets it away and goes right to left the other direction. Trying to pass it up for Burchett on the left wing, but it's taken away by Ahern, and the Mississippi State transfer gets it back to her goalkeeper with a pass in there for Murphy to Konopatsky. 17th minute, Ball State with the first goal of the game. Avery Fenchel in the 13th for the Cardinal advantage. Battle in the center circle for the ball as that's Caldwell who lost the ball in the midfield to Nora Roush. Roush with it in the Ohio half of the pitch. They'll get it back to Sloma, the goalkeeper. They'll go to the right for Kaufman. The junior, Maya Kaufman, looking for options, slides it to the right side. Working it back to the middle. And the press kind of sagging off from the Cardinals in the last couple of minutes after the goal, Max.
Yeah, but it's all really slowed down in this game. You're not really seeing as much intensity, and that's going to happen when you get about 20 minutes into this one, and then when it gets about 35 minutes with about 10 to go, you're going to see a whole lot more energy.
Ahern to Jeffers as Ohio have lost the ball on the far side of the field. It's Murphy. Murphy looking for options on her left. Goes long on the ground for Goodyear. And I think it's just what Ball State want to do. As we mentioned, they had started the season and for a wide bulk of the season gone 4 in the back. They've switched it to 5. And it's one of those situations where you score and you can kind of just sit back because you have options. And Ohio, they're finding the ball to midfield, and then that pressure comes from the back line, and they've been so far unable to generate much. And it's a situation Ball State are happy to be in right now, up 1-0.
And, I mean, this is not exactly what Ball State has been used to, especially here at Briner in MAC play. So I know they are feeling a whole lot better than maybe they have earlier this year. It's a beautiful day for soccer, by the way, which definitely has to help.
Aubrey Ray finds some space with a pass to the left for Pruss. Pruss beating Jeffers. A decent ways out. She's going to try to hit it. It bounces once and misses wide right to the near post. Goal kick Ball State as the midfielder's shot didn't really have much power on it, and Konopatsky guided it out of play.
This is another example where you see this happen a lot, where players will, as I've mentioned, just try and force a shot. They're not taking a great shot. They're just shooting just to have a shot. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss that every single time. And that's one of the examples. When you don't have enough power, it's just going to lead to getting a save.
Cardinals with possession around their back line in their own half of the pitch. And I think it's just the frustrations, Max. You have an Ohio team who's working it to as far as the 18, but really unable to crack the egg, which is the final part of Ball State's defense. And they're settling for shots outside of their typical range because they haven't been able to get quality looks inside the 18 to challenge Konopatsky. Frazier in the center circle wins it for Ball State. First 20 minutes of this match are gone. Avery Fenchel's goal in the 13th, the only thing that separates these two teams. Shot category, Ohio leading 5-3, but as just mentioned, the shots not of the highest percentage. And the Cardinals content to play around the back a little bit and let some time come off the clock. No substitutions either side yet, as Murphy's pass, which was curled to the left for Goodyear, went out of play, so an Ohio throw right in front of Coach Josh Reif. Ball State winning off the throw, a little counterattack on. Addie Chester trying to run with it, but Haley Zhang comes up with the speed. Caldwell trying to take it right back. They go back to the keeper in Sloma. Sloma directing traffic before going low to her right for Kaufman, who made a run.
I got to give a whole lot of credit there to Haley Jang. She may not be the tallest player, but, man, she was all over Addie Chester and has really eliminated her as an option thus far. That's why you had to see Avery Fenchel have to be the one to take the shot that ended up being a goal.
Jordan Jeffers with the slide pushes the ball out. Ohio throw at midfield on the near side, but you're right. Haley Zhang Jr. from Ohio, she isn't necessarily the strongest player out there, but she was 3 or 4 yards behind Chester when Chester got the ball and closed the space relatively quickly, able to contain that attack and nip it in the bud before Chester could find her passing option. Coming up on the halfway point of this first half, about a minute before we get there. 23 minutes and change to go in the first half. Murphy with the possession. No Bobcats within 15 yards of her. Goes long for Goodyear on the left side. Goes over the top trying to find the run of Millis, but the run wasn't there. The ball ends up taking a bounce off the chest of an Ohio player on the far side in Devers before going out over the touchline. Ball State with a throw. The Ball State substitute group starting to warm up a little bit, given that it is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ball State wearing the pink warm-up tops and now the pink pennies on the sideline, starting to get stretched out and ready to come in when their names are called by Coach Reif. A free kick coming out here, and Ball State will have the free kick in the Ohio part of the pitch. A decent far ways out, but certainly within range to put in a quality service into the box and try to find ahead of an attacker.
And that's exactly what Ball State's going to look to do. Anticipate seeing Delaney Caldwell or Emily Roper with their size to be the one who's the target.
Murphy to take with 22 left in the first. It's whipped in. Trying to find Roper, whose glancing header drifts wide to the near post out for a goal kick.
And I had mentioned that Emily Roper was going to be a target. It may have been the win. I don't know what. It wasn't exactly the most accurate pass, and it ends up going out. And you have noticed, you see the American flag waving a lot more. The wind has picked up slightly, which always makes it fun when you have these cross-field passes.
Yeah, the wind definitely going to affect things. I don't think that the wind's necessarily to an extremes, not quite to 20 miles an hour quite yet, but the wind's starting to pick up here at Briner a little bit. As Ohio go low, it's poked out by Roper and an Ohio throw-in.
One thing you'll notice with these restarts for Ohio is they always have quick restarts, but, man, there's Ball State there once again to quickly take it away.
Inside 21 minutes to go in the first half. Murphy trying to guide Ball State through the defensive third. She'll go long, trying to find Millis on the run. That's Millis and Chester converging on the ball, but Ohio able to work it out of the double team as Burchett goes back to Maya Kaufman. Kaufman going low, right back to Burchett, and there's Frazier flying in to make the steal. Getting the advantage played on from the referee. Gets it to Roper, who goes long, trying to find Chester. It's a race to the football, but Solis able to get there first, goes back to Sloma, and she'll get it out of the area to Pruss. Pruss's pass deflected by Roper once again. Emily Roper has been a menace in the midfield. It's Chester. Once again, chased down by Zhang. Haley Zhang coming through with another takeaway on Chester. The other way go Ohio. Bodies collide, and down goes Burchett. No call as the ball was played by Ball State. They take it away, and back to Conopatski it goes. Under 20 minutes to go in the first half with the Cardinals leading 1-0.
And you've been able to see a shift in the physicality from Ohio. They realize, hey, there's about 20 minutes to go. Now they're starting to be a whole lot more aggressive, which always makes it interesting to see. Especially when we've seen a whole lot of one-on-ones.
Murphy goes way up over the top trying to find Caldwell. It drifts up over her head, glancing off the head of Nora Roush into the keeper Sloma. Ohio will try to build from their own zone. Chester and Jeffers converging on the ball on the near post, trying to disrupt the pass. They do just that with a deflection, but Frazier unable to bring it down with the right foot, and Ohio hang on to possession for now. It's Zhang being chased by Frazier, gets it back to her defender in Solis. One substitute waiting to come on for Ohio. And I believe that's Scout Murray on the far side getting ready to come in.
And Scout Murray, the 2023 MAC Tournament MVP, I know having her presence is definitely something that Ohio is going to look for.
Well, with as good as she was at the end of last year, I was initially surprised when starting to do my research for this game that she wasn't getting as much time. Both her and Quentin Tostovan both not playing as much. Of course, Quentin more for injury, but it's been a struggle for Ohio to find some of their talent. As much talent as they return from that tournament, a lot of those players haven't been as involved. We will see that substitution, though. Scout Murray, the junior from Chicago, comes in for the first time today. It's the first substitution for either side, and she replaces Jamison Brooker.
And Scout Murray leading the team with 4 goals this year. It's clear that Ohio is looking to add more offense. We will see if that is what this team needs to be able to score.
Midfield battle. Roper able to bring it down with her forehead, gets it to Fenchel. Inside 17 and a half minutes, and now they get it to Chester. Chester spinning onto her right foot. Frazier searching for options. Goes backwards, and that's an ill-advised pass to Ahern, who has to keep it in, but her pass to Jeffers is out of bounds. And Frazier, I think, has got to find a better option than that. Just kind of playing the ball into open space with defenders converging.
Yeah, that was an example of where when you're going to watch this on the film, as we see a couple substitutions for Ohio, you're just going to think that was just more of a force pass than anything, and that's why it ended up going out. So similar to Ohio forcing shots, sometimes you've seen Ball State this year try and force some of those short passes.
One hop throw taken away by Frazier, but Zhang able to get it back. The pass goes off of Chester and out. Ohio with a whole slew of substitutions again, and Ball State able to win it. It's Chester on the right wing, chipping it forward for Caldwell. Brings it down onto her right, cuts it to her left. Caldwell dancing back to her right, back to Chester. Chester, little ball roll onto her right foot on the right wing. Outside of the 18, now plays it in low, and it's headed clear. Only so far as the midfield. Caldwell able to get it back. Low ball, just thrashed it at the net, never had much of a chance, and it's gloved by Sloma.
No, that's an example of Caldwell taking a shot right when the defender is on top of her. It was never going to make any effort, but still it was a nice heads-up play by Caldwell.
Couple substitutions in for the Ohio Bobcats. It's Iro Fakinu from Athens, Greece, that's in there. The freshman in for the first time. She comes in for Rayanne Pruss. Ellie Greenwell, Lillian Weller, and Riley Mensel, the other newbies in for the Bobcats with about 15 minutes to go in the first half. The Cardinals still leading 1-0. Avery Fenchel finding the back of the net from outside of the 18-yard box off a follow-up from the initial shot by Addie Chester. And the Cardinals have used that goal and sat on the lead since then They lead by a 0-0. Millis able to work it to, that's, I believe, Fenchel, but the ball pushed back to Konopatsky. Don't believe Ball State have made any substitutions yet in this one. Coach Reif electing to let the starters play it out a little bit. But just as I say that, as Max has silently pointed out to me, a whole group of them head over to the scorer's table ready to check in.
And that's going to make sense. You've seen 30 minutes of effort from Ball State so far, so it'll be nice to get some of these starters rest, especially when they do have that advantage of a goal. But the big thing is with 15 minutes to go and only a single goal, you can't get too comfortable or else you're going to fall asleep, and then Ohio's going to get the score.
Ahern on the near side goes up over the top for Caldwell, who expertly brings it down with the left boot, gives it to Chester. Chester on the near side, trying to cut it back onto her left foot. Goes to Jeffers, who without a touch whips it in near post. It's going to settle down for Caldwell, but couldn't take the touch first time, and it bounces by her into the arms of Celeste Sloma.
And just if that ball had had one less bounce, that would have been a beautiful shot by Caldwell, but just too many bounces made it really difficult for her to get her foot on it, and ends up not being a shot.
Up the field now. It's Scout Murray, and the ball off the defender and out in Goodyear. A throw in for the Bobcats in front of Ball State's goalkeeping substitutes. Low throw goes to Murray. Fighting with Millis. Millis clears it away and picks up a foul in the process. There's the Ball State captain, who we really haven't called her name too much. She's been less involved in the defending due to her higher positioning, but that time getting in there on the defensive end.
And that's exactly what she's needed to do. She's been needing to do her job. So, yes, she's a defender, but she's really been more of a winger when it's on her half, the far side of the pitch. But when it's on the near side, she's always been back on defense.
Well, and it's interesting because, well, now, of course, the ball to midfield, but you look at it a moment ago where Ball State's playing around their defensive line. Maya Millis is on the Ohio side of the field. She's not a passing option as she would typically be in that back four, now at the back five, about 25 yards further upfield, and it just adds new depth and new passing options into this Ball State attack that maybe Ohio aren't as accustomed to in the years that they've seen this Ball State team that, at least in my time being here, have stayed very tactically consistent with Josh Reif, but Coach deciding to mix things up, and it's worked out very well on the defensive side of the ball. Roper brings it down at the left knee to Frazier. Goes low to Chester, who lets it run on by and now tries to chase it down. Battle on the end line. Did anybody touch it? No. Last touched by the Cardinals. And after Solis let it out, it'll be a goal kick. And all the substitutions come on for Ball State. It's at least the ones I can see here. It's Tori Monaco, Kaylin Vallow. On the far side, that may be Kylie Archer who's checked in. I'll wait for the official word as the goal kick back in. Looks to be Elena Quinn, who's also checked in on the front line for Ball State. We haven't seen Quinn nearly as much in the Cardinal uniform as of late, but Elena getting some minutes here in the back stages of half number one. 11 minutes to go here in Muncie in the first half. Ball State clinging to a 1-0 lead, but Ohio haven't managed a shot here in at least 15 minutes.
And that's really surprising because you saw early on in this one, it felt like Ohio was having a barrage of shots. Yes, they weren't accurate, but really this has been a battle just truly at the midfield line. You haven't really been able to see someone get into the last quarter of the field every single time just because it keeps getting turned over because both of these teams have really strong defenses.
Yeah, the last Ohio shot now officially 14 and a half minutes since it was taken. Those four substitutions officially: Kylie Archer in for Jordan Jeffers, Elena Quinn in for Fenchel, Tori Monaco comes in for Caldwell on the wing, and Kaylin Vallow in for Maya Millis. Anna Burchett also coming out. Sydney Crow getting some minutes for the Bobcats in the green, who work right to left with the pass from Sloma to Kaufman. Final 10 minutes of the first 45.
And now with 10 minutes to go, this is going to be really telling with Ohio. They realize that they got 10 minutes to try and get in the back of the net before halftime, so you're going to probably see a whole lot more shots. Whether they're going to be good, accurate shots or not is to be determined, but I'd expect to see a lot more effort.
It's Maya Solis on the ball for Ohio. Quinn softly pressing the defensive line of the Bobcats, and now Kaufman trying to go up over the top. Tries to find Crow. Ahern able to win it off the initial touch from the Ohio attacker. Gets it back to Konopatsky, and Ball State slow it down.
And that was a great job by Ahern, forcing herself there to be able to prevent Ohio from getting good and accurate passes. That's exactly what you wanted to do if you're a defender. And she's one of those defenders. Really, all of these defenders for Ball State have been playing well to where coaches need to be like, hey, you should be like this defender.
Roper trying to find the fancy touch. Unable to control it, but then Ball State's defense able to force a giveaway. It goes out over the touchline. Ball State with the throw just outside of the 18. It bounces a few times out over the end line as Roper was unable to track it down. Another substitution for the Ohio Bobcats. It's Lily O'Rourke coming in for Haley Zhang, who we've mentioned it a couple times. I'll shout her out one more time. An excellent first half for the midfielder who has not only held her own but has completely stifled Addie Chester, who has been the Cardinals' best attacking option as of the last couple of weeks. Chester still out there. We'll see if she can generate anything in the final 8 minutes of the first half without Zhang on the field. Bobcats go low left wing. It's O'Rourke. And now a sliding challenge pushes forward for the Bobcats. It's Murray. Murray with some options. Finds O'Rourke, who hits it first time. It wallops up in the air, bouncing, and Konopatsky able to get there before the charging Mensel was able to finish it off for Ohio.
That was a wild shot there by Lily O'Rourke. I mean, just absolutely skies it. That is a shot that won't be able to be scored, but that is a shot that if he would have had a winger get ahead on it, could have been a dangerous opportunity.
Chester up over the top trying to find the run of Vallow. Quinn was also converging, but it gets to Sloma first. 38 minutes gone in the first half. Ball State lead 1-0. Trying to keep the lead into the halftime break.
But now it's going to be interesting to see, can Ohio cause another attack like they had with that shot just a few minutes ago?
Solis goes low on the pass to O'Rourke, who tries to find a cutting Crow, but it's intercepted by Ahern.
And there's Ahern again. What's she been doing well on defense? Well, she's been able to prevent those long passes, intercepting them, and giving it back to Ball State. Good performance from her so far in this one.
Vallow touches it on, trying to find the run of Kylie Archer, but Ohio able to get it back to their keeper in Sloma. Sloma works it to her left for Solis. Solis approaching midfield, goes short to Crow. Monaco getting her right foot in there to disrupt, and it falls to Ahern. Back to Monaco near touchline, goes to her left, back into the Ball State half of the pitch for Murphy. Murphy up over the top, trying to find Chester. Chester with the poor touch, and it's taken away on the boot of Weller now. Weller down the left wing and cleared by Murphy off of Scout Murray, and a Ball State throw.
And that was a great defense there from Katie Murphy. She forces Ohio to make an error and kick it out.
There's just so much confidence coming out of this Ball State defense. as we see a couple more substitutions in LG Moncrief, who we've seen quite frequently for Ball State in the midfield, comes in, a later substitution than usual for her. Alex McPhee also in for the Ball State Cardinals. McPhee making appearance number 5 on the season. She's only played 16 minutes, but she'll get 5 here at the end of the first half. The ball out for an Ohio throw. On the near side, they boot it up over midfield, trying to find Crow. It bounces to her on one hop. She heads it on, trying to find Murray, and it's now just a battle. Acadia Murphy, able to boot it long. McPhee trying to run onto it. It's Roush versus McPhee, rolling to the end line, and Roush able to shield McPhee off the ball and keep it out for a goal kick.
And with just over 4 minutes to go and majority of the offense out, if Ball State's going to get any goals here with the last few minutes of the first half, you would have to think it's going to be Chester with the majority of the offense now on the bench.
A slip on the far side of the field allows Ohio into the right wing. Bouncing ball out for a throw. It will be a Ball State throw as Murphy had cleared it, but it once again was off a defender, this time in Crow. Cardinals take over with under 4 to go in half number 1.
You see clearly no rush on the throw, and Ball State, with the gift of having 1 goal, doesn't really need to force anything. They just need to focus on defense.
Forward ball trying to get to Monaco, and that's really good anticipation from Solis. Left wing for Ohio. 1-touch pass from Murray. Loose outside of the 18. Ball State pick it up. Frazier off the pass from Chester. Monaco hooking a ball toward the end line. Cardinals trying to work out of their own defensive third. It goes all the way back to Konopatsky, who has to boot it long. O'Rourke heads it down off the boot. Murray, left side of the 18, working centrally. Pass to her right, has Weller. They switch it completely now for Greenwell. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Sliding challenge taken away on the left side. That's Kylie Archer. Cardinals on the counter. It's Archer. She has McPhee up ahead. Working onto her right foot. Goes low for McPhee, and that's a diving challenge to push it away from Nora Roush. Bobcats clear. Counterattack could be on as it's Facchino. And now Murray. Murray off Ahern out of play. Throw in Ohio. They go quickly, and it's cleared by by Acadia Murphy. Chester, low to McPhee off her right shin and into the awaiting feet of an Ohio defender. 2 minutes to play in half number 1.
And with the clock winding down, I'd anticipate 1, maybe 2 more chances for Ohio here in the first half of play. So you're going to see them start trying to force some of those shots now.
Ball popped up in the air, loose in the midfield. Moncrief able to bring it down, and it's cleared by Murphy. Trying to find McPhee. The ball bounces all the way to the left side of the 18 and kept in just inside of the 18, gloved by Sloma. She'll roll it out to her center line with the final 90 seconds of the first half upon us. Up over the top, testing Ahern, and it's Murray trying to roll around Ahern, but Delaney wins it. Quick 1-touch pass, gets it to Chester. Chester with some room to work. Rolls it back onto her right foot, plays it to Monaco. Monaco looking for a 1-touch pass, gets it to Chester. Final minute of play. 45th minute here in the first half. Ball State 1-0. See if anything changes here in the final now 45 seconds. Murphy looking up over the top, trying to find McPhee. It's headed down and away by Roush. Moncrief wins it back. Ball rolling toward Vallow, but it's gotten there first by Maya Kaufman, who clears it toward the auxiliary scoring table on the far side. Contact, and the ball rolls out of bounds for an Ohio throw. Final 25 seconds of the first half. Ohio with time to whip it in for one quick chance if they can get it goalwards, but they're just trying for now to hold on to the ball. It's Weller. back into the Ohio side of the pitch. 10 seconds now in the first half. Both teams slowing things down. Solis on the ball. She goes long. Murphy hits it on one time, volleys it away, and that brings us to the conclusion of the first half. Avery Fenchel scores in the 13th minute to give Ball State an early lead, and that is where we stand at the conclusion of half number 1. Ball State 1, Ohio 0. We'll be back in a couple minutes for our halftime report as we get set for another exhilarating 45 minutes on the way. Ball State Soccer here on the SportsLink Digital Radio Network, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State SportsLink.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Halftime break here in Muncie, Indiana. Ball State leading the Ohio Bobcats by a score of 1-0. And we see at the halftime show here, 1-0, the Cardinals leading the Bobcats. Griffin, Leonard here with Max Gillie. And Max, Ball State with the early score. They were able to sit back and using that 5-deep defensive line, it's worked remarkably well. Would it be too overeager to call it tactical genius from Coach Josh Reif?
We're going to have to wait and see maybe after the game to figure that part out. But it has been working really well for Ball State. And, we mentioned this in the pregame show, how important a matchup like this one is for the Ball State Cardinals, because there are only 4 more games remaining here. One single home game left after this one. It's going to be Thursday the 24th on ESPN Plus, produced by SportsLink. But, you got at Miami, at Western, at Toledo, and then versus NIU. And at this point, those are some winnable games for Ball State. So if they can have 5 great performances heading into the MAC tournament, that is exactly what Coach Reif wants, because you heard Coach Rogers tell us when we talked to him on Friday he felt that this Ball State team was a little similar to Ohio from 1 year ago. Am I saying that we should anticipate Ball State to win the entire MAC? No. But what I'm saying is they're better than their conference record shows.
Yeah, well, they're sitting on 8 points through 6 games, and it's just not where anyone remotely involved in the Ball State soccer space thought they would be. But the talent is certainly there, and they've now shown that they have the ability to contain any team in this conference. It's just, can they find the goals that have evaded them so far in the schedule? They have had trouble. It's not a stretch to say that they've had trouble creating chances today. They didn't register a shot in the last 15, 20 minutes of the half, but they found the early goal. And if what's happened recently, if history repeats itself, 1 goal is all you need with the Ball State Cardinals with the way they've been playing defensively. So we'll see if they're able to continue to hold Ohio, but it's been a match that neither team is really able to generate much, but it can still be a good leaping off point for Ball State offensively. You mentioned the road trip. A lot of times you see a long road trip coming up, it gets a little nervous, but this is a Ball State team that's done better in the conference on the road than they have at home. So I think that the Cardinals are going to welcome this road trip with open arms. They're going to look at it as an opportunity to really show what they can do, and if you don't end up hosting a home playoff game, well, then you're already used to the road, and it doesn't faze you that you've got to play in a hostile environment.
100%. And meanwhile, for Ohio, as we have seen here today, listen, they have outshot the Cardinals, but one of the things I tried to stress early in this game that I kept noticing was, yes, Ohio was getting shots, but as I mentioned, this is an example of a team just forcing shots, going from 35 yards out. You're not going to be able to score from back there. And in the second half, they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder considering they're down 1 goal. So the big thing for Ball State is if Ohio's going to play like they did in the last 5 minutes of this first half, their defense is going to need to be ready because they've been stout all year long, and this is not the game to give up on what's been going well on defense.
Yeah, well, this is an Ohio team that knows how to spread out the scoring. And you're right, those last 5 minutes, when the majority of the players on the field were not starters, they looked very, very dangerous at times, working through the midfield, able to find some gaps in the Ball State defensive line, which a lot of the starters were unable to do for the bulk of that first half. So we'll see how things change here in the opening few minutes of the second half. But Ball State wanting to stick to the same, just try to contain and find your opportunities as they come. There's certainly the talent on the offensive side of the ball, but they've got to work out of the rough form before we get to the end of the season.
And one final thing I want to make sure we bring up for Ohio is whenever they are giving like these free kicks or these corner kicks, when you look at a conference as close as the MAC is this year, you're not given those opportunities all the time. So within the next 45 minutes, if Ohio gets those corners or those free kicks, they have to be accurate because this is an example of a matchup where you don't know how many more shots you're going to really get.
Yeah, just 1 corner in the first half. Ball State having the corner kick. Not many fouls. 3 fouls committed by Ohio, just 1 by the Cardinals. The set pieces are few and far between, but they can be ever so valuable. We'll see who comes out on top in half number 2. We will take a break. When we get back, we'll get you set for the second half. This is Ball State Soccer on the SportsLink Digital Radio Network, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie in partnership with Ball State Sports and ballstatesports.com.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts, right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Muncie. It's just a couple of minutes before we get you set for half number 2. The teams wrapping up their team talks on either side of the far side of the field. The Bobcats and the Cardinals getting set to resume battle. The Cardinals lead 1-0. If you're just joining us, Avery Fenchel broke her month-long goalless streak with a strike from 20 yards out. Buried it in the top right corner, and that gave the Cardinals an early lead, a lead that they have not conceded since. In fact, if you're just joining us, the Cardinals have not conceded in now, if we can do the quick math here, what is that, 405 minutes?
I'm not a math major, so I'm just going to agree with him.
Sure. We'll put it into a calculator while we talk here. 405 minutes. How about that? Yeah. So Ball State, their defensive work has been nothing short of stellar so far this season, and especially here in conference play, it has been increasingly difficult for teams to find the back of the net. So the question I'm going to pose to you now, Max, is how do the Ohio Bobcats break that streak?
Well, for the Ohio Bobcats, there are really two options. You're either going to need to score on those set pieces, or what you're going to need to do is you're just going to need to catch the Ball State defense off guard. There were a couple examples of where the Ball State defense was off guard, and Ohio was able to get those shots. The issue was they were not accurate. They were from 30, 40 yards out, or they were having no power. And so if Ohio's going to want to get to score, they are just going to have to do smart shots. And I can keep saying that. And what I mean by a smart shot is it is calculated, it has the right speed, it has the right angle, and it gets in the back of the net.
Ball State in their home whites, exiting the team talk. Just a couple of more words from Coach Josh Reif, and I'll give him a shout-out because I see him over there with the boom mic. Extra Time is a Ball State SportsLink follow documentary series on the Ball State soccer team, and Caden Vincent and Devin Pote are out there working hard to put together the content. All access, behind the scenes, For Ball State soccer, also be on the watch Ball State golf with a follow documentary series. The first episode just dropped a couple of days ago, produced by a great group of people covering Ball State golf, and you can catch that first episode on Ball State Sports Link social media on YouTube and Twitter. We get ready for the second half. Ball State in the home whites, Ohio in the greens. Ohio is still talking over there on the far side. When we're all said and done, the teams will flip the field. Ball State will attack right to left toward the adjacent field hockey pitch on the left side on the west side of the Briner Sports Complex. Ohio will go left to right toward the Bethel Avenue neighborhood.
So the real question I have is, did Aaron Rodgers tell his team they need to have the speed and the effort from that first half, especially in that last 5 minutes where, as we mentioned, we had majority of the players on the pitch were the Ohio substitutes. Now, likely all the starters are going to be back. Will they be giving as much effort as those bench players who are really competing to get some of those starting spots? Because that's what was working.
Well, as far as the starting 11 goes, it appears that Ball State have run out with the same 11. Of course, significant about that, Grace Konopatsky, one of those 11 we saw on Thursday. For the first time in a while, Ball State have gone with one goalkeeper for the entirety of the 90 minutes. That appears to be the case once again today, as Konopatsky set to start the second half in goal.
And the big thing about Konopatsky in the play is before this season, she had not that many opportunities to really get some quality minutes. Coach Reif has decided that she's the starting goalie. She has earned it. She's been playing extremely well this year. She looks like she's a veteran out there, and now that Ball State has played a lot of games, now you know that she's conditioned enough to play for a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, and it's always important to note you've got to feel for Abby Jenkins, who's the senior. She's dealt with injuries, picked up a knock a couple of games ago in the final moments, and not sure of her injury status, but it's definitely not to say that Konopatsky hasn't deserved it, but Jenkins has been out there. She has not conceded a goal all season when she's been in the game, but has been plagued with injuries and is not going to play in this second half today. We're all ready for a coruscating another 45 minutes of action here from the Briner Sports Complex, and we are underway as Ball State going right to left with Audrey Goodyear. Ohio in the away greens will go left to right. They steal the ball and do just that now. It's Anna Burchett working toward the 18, goes right wing for Devers. Devers slicing the ball. First time in, instant chance, but it's just beyond Jamison Brooker on the far post, who would have had a chance to tap it in for one apiece. It's a goal kick for the Cardinals, 30 seconds in.
I told you that Ohio was probably going to come out fired up. Their starters got rest, and you saw they quickly forced the shot, and you also saw that Ball State defense may have been a little asleep for the first 30 seconds.
High ball left side to the near side of the pitch for Maya Millis, who drops it off to Goodyear. Goodyear's clearance goes only as far as Barish. Barish to Devers. One touch passing, and Burchett goes right back to Devers, chasing it toward the near side corner flag, just out over the touchline, 3 or 4 yards from the corner flag. It'll be a Ball State throw-in wedged into their own corner on the near side.
So the big thing for Ball State is you're already seeing the Ohio players marking the Cardinals. They are going to need to throw to a Cardinal. They should not turn it around this close to their goal.
Addie Chester volleys it forward, trying to get it to Caldwell. It's off the boot of Maya Kaufman and out for a Ball State throw. Tiptoeing toward midfield, taking the throw, Maya Millis. Overhead gets to midfield for Chester, who has some space to the right. Plays Ahern. The pass too far out in front, and now Ahern has to chase it down. So it temporarily pauses the Ball State forward progress, but they get it back to Konopatsky, who volleys it forward for Goodyear.
And this early into the game, You're really starting to see Ball State trying to get those accurate crosses because we have mentioned just really at midfield, especially in that first half, there was a lot of back and forth. No one was really able to start on offense. So the big question now is, can Ball State get those accurate passes and avoid Ohio getting some easy turnovers?
Chester's pass falls errantly behind Jordan Jeffers out over the touchline. Ohio win a throw and control possession off of that throw. And trying to deal with the pressure of Delaney Caldwell and Addie Chester, they work it to the right side of the defensive line for Kaufman. Kaufman, with room to work, has Chester, or rather Fenchel, 10 yards in front of her, defending. The pass goes forward and is pushed out by Goodyear up in front of us here in the press box at the Briner Sports Complex, where we sit 3 minutes into the second half. Ball State lead 1-0. Kaufman on the ball for the Bobcats. Touch pass near side, right in front of the touchline, and that's Jang who's back in after a good first half, probably the best defensive first half of any Bobcat. Left side, that's Rayanne Pruss. Pruss goes low for Brooker. Brooker, that's sought after and dealt with nicely by Ahern, but it's pushed out over the touchline, and the first corner kick of the game for the Ohio Bobcats. It'll be taken on the far side of the field to the right of Grace Konopatsky.
And this is going to be interesting with this set piece here. Can Ohio be accurate? Because this is one of the few given chances they have to score.
Barish goes low on the corner kick. And it's Pruss in swinger, back post. Konopatsky palms it away. She wanted to catch it cleanly. It was just a little bit over her back shoulder, had to push it out as the last second adjustment. Another corner coming for Ohio.
That is going to keep the Cardinals for sure on their toes. I mean, had Maya Solis been maybe a step closer, that could have been a goal.
Barish this time to take. And her second corner in as many minutes goes long. Konopatsky rises up over Jang to make the catch. And I don't think the 5'1 junior and Haley Zhang is the person you want to be closest to that corner kick for that corner kick for the Bobcats, but made it difficult for Konopatsky to catch that ball.
Still like the effort from Konopatsky, though. She was able to get the save, and that has to feel good, considering that you weren't really hearing her name too much because Ohio wasn't getting shots. 2 quality saves off of some really good corner kicks by Ohio.
Fenchel moving the ball forward across the midfield line, trying to play a pass to Caldwell. It's taken away in the midfield by Roush. Ohio slow it down, get it to Solis, who works it to her right for Kaufman. Kaufman thinks twice before delivering a pass right back to Solis. And it's Sloma now for the Ohio Bobcats. The goalkeeper getting her name called a couple of times in the first half, but unable to keep the shot out of Avery Fenchel. The 1-0 goal, the only goal so far in this match.
And one change I've really noticed is since we have changed direction, Jang has been taking a lot more attention on Avery Fenchel as opposed to Addie Chester.
Ball out for a Ball State throw-in on the far side in front of the scoreboard. Throw-in goes to Roper and pushed back to the defender in Goodyear, who volleys it forward to Caldwell. Caldwell brings it down at the right foot at midfield, right wing in front of the auxiliary scoring table. Gets it back to Caldwell, looking for the pass to Jeffers. Jeffers pulling down, that's Rayanne Pruss, but no call as Ohio feed it back to the back line.
And now you're starting to see Ball State a lot more towards that Ohio defense. So starting to see a lot more opportunities from Ball State.
Konopatsky comes out of her box to claim it after a right-footed curling ball from Barish. Couldn't find Jamison Brooker. Brooker and Burchett have switched sides on the attack. Brooker was on the left side of the strikers for the first couple of minutes here in the second half, as she was in the first. Now has moved over to the right with Burchett moving over to the left side. Caldwell One touch to Chester. Chester, heavy touch that time, and it's Weller, who did not start the first half, but getting the call here in half number 2. Lillian Weller, the freshman, starting in place of, I think, Aubrey Ray, as Katie Murphy heads it down toward the Ohio bench. Fight for it. Jeffers goes down and earns a free kick. That was Rayanne Pruss who's called for the foul. The first foul of the second half, and a free kick just in front of Coach Aaron Rogers, who throws his hands up as to say that wasn't anything. But the foul called, free kick coming for Ball State on the far side.
I have to give our official credit for the fact that he has not really been trying to use the whistle every 5 minutes like some of these other officials do, but that's one of those examples where if you're going to drag down a player, don't do it right in front of the official.
Jeffers defensial, punches it out wide to Frazier. Caitlin Frazier back to Barish. Well, her back to Barish, gives the ball back to Goodyear. Pass deflected, and now falls to the feet of Zhang for the Bobcats. Devers to go low for Brookers. Brooker back to Devers, and the pass deflected out off Maya Millis and out for a throw in right here on the near side, just inside the Ball State defensive half. Closing in on 9 minutes gone in the second 45 minutes. Ball State still with a 1-0 lead. Neither team registering a shot yet in half number 2.
And that has just been all credit to the defense of both of these teams. This is one of those games where if you enjoy defense in soccer, you've been having a great time. If you enjoy offense, you have not. But either way, this has still been a fun one so far. And, hey, we still got a long time. You never quite know what's going to happen in action.
Well, there's a giveaway. It's picked up by Brooker for the Bobcats, who slams into Roper. No foul called as Brooker hit the deck. And Ball State go the other way, right to left. Millis. Chip to left wing, rolling down across the touchline. Caldwell takes a tumble and draws hard contact and a foul. Roush getting called for the foul, and Ball State with the free kick on the near side, about 20 yards from the top half of the 18. Cardinals with a dangerous set piece here.
And obviously the Ohio Bobcats frustrated, but here's the thing. You can't be frustrated at a call like this. You just got to be focused on your defense that's been so successful.
Murphy curls it front post, and it's gloved by Sloma, who caught it in the breadbasket, boots it away, but only so far as Frazier. Barish takes it off of the foot of Frazier, and here goes Rayanne Pruss across midfield, gets it to Brooker, trying to turn the corner on Murphy, plays a pass, but chasing it down is Fenchel, who's able to boot it away to Caldwell, but Caldwell offsides. The offside flag goes up. I think that's the first offsides decision we've seen from the assistants today, Max.
That is, and
you can't really blame Caldwell, though. I don't think she's expecting the ball there.
No, I don't think so. And also, that's one of the few times I've seen the offsides right at the circle. It's not typically where we see it, but this has been a good referee crew. Haven't been calling too many fouls. The officials as the ARs have been doing a great job as well.
We're going to see a yellow card come out here for Rayanne Pruss, and I think it's going to be for dissent. We saw a Ball State throw-in. It was a late signal, and something was said to head referee Sean West by Rayanne Pruss, and the card came out of the pocket. So the left midfielder for the Bobcats into the book in minute number 56, or minute 57, rather. And now the ball goes forward for Caldwell. Caldwell, right wing, defenders chasing, tries to cut it back onto her right foot, able to do so, but poking it free is Roush. Frazier volleys it back into the 18. It's cleared by Zhang.
Nice heads-up play by Zhang in that Ohio defense. Two really critical shots prevented just because all of that effort from the defense.
Goodyear, toe poke with the right foot past midfield beyond Fenchel, and Fenchel will let it roll to Maya Kaufman. Kaufman, right-footed curling service to the far end of the 18, but it curled away, and Jeffers able to pick it up. Jeffers' pass for Chester is intercepted, And it's Burchett going right wing, some space for Devers. Ella Devers striking it onto the near post, and it's saved by Konopatsky. Grace Konopatsky down to a knee to glove it and save Ball State's lead on the near post with 33 minutes to go.
I have to give credit to Konopatsky again. That was a real scary situation if you were a Ball State fan, but she was poised, she was ready, got herself a nice save.
Well, and she was very, very far on the near post, and it made it an easier save than you'd think it would have been. Had Devers switched it and gone far post, there would have been a ton of room open on that side of the net, but Konopatsky's positioning works out for the Cardinals. Jang able to push it forward for Burchett. Burchett goes low. Brooker, left foot. Brooker takes the shot! Equalizer here in Muncie. Jamison Brooker, the sophomore, powers it home with the left foot, and we are tied at 1 with 13 minutes gone in half number 2.
Tell you what, lucky number 13 for both of these goals, and there's a reason why I said Jamison Brooker was the impact player. You saw just a great shot by Brooker, and this was another example where an Ohio Bobcat kind of able to sneak past the Ball State defense, getting those 1-2 passes and getting in the back of the net.
It is the 4th goal of the season for the sophomore, who gives the Bobcats the equalizer they were hoping for. That ties her with Scout Murray on the team's leading score sheet for the season. 4 goals apiece for both of the attackers. And here's Caldwell. Caldwell looping it up, but taken away by Devers. And we will see how the momentum shifts here now after Ohio find the goal they were looking for. Jeffers with the takeaway in the midfield. Far side, right foot, crossed ball, trying to get it to Chester. That is on the far side. Solis instead able to get there first.
This is an important test for the Cardinals with just a few games to go. How are you going to react to a situation like this? Are you going to be putting in more effort? Are you just going to be happy with the tie? We're going to have to see.
And we've mentioned it a couple times, but I'll mention it again. That is the first goal the Cardinals have conceded in 5 games. Ohio break the streak that so many others had no answer for. And Ball State looking for a response. Calls for a handball on the far side, nothing going that time. And Ohio able to work it toward the 18-yard box. They cut it back for Barish, who works to the center circle, finds Kaufman, who has some space on the right side. Kaufman going to look to strike one from 35 out. It's blocked and volleyed away by Frazier. Back to Kaufman. Kaufman looking for the service this time. Wants the goal scorer in Brooker. Instead, Roper pushes it to her right for Chester. Chester around a defender in Pruss. Pruss on a yellow card. She has to be careful when defending. Caldwell on the ball now for Ball State. Caldwell's pass taken away by Barish, and it will roll over and out across the touchline. Ball State throw in between the benches.
So at this point, we've seen a lot more possession for Ohio in Ball State's half of the field. So the big question now is with Ball State, when they are across midfield, can they get those accurate passes and prevent those easy turnovers that have been something we noticed in the first half, but it was okay that they had a goal. Now that it's tied, you have to really fix up some of those mistakes.
60 minutes gone here in Muncie, 30 more to be played. Griffin Leonard and Max Gillie on the call for you this afternoon from Muncie. Ball State and Ohio jostle for a go-ahead goal. The ball finds the feet of Celeste Sloma, who has not been challenged with a shot on net since Avery Fenchel found the go-ahead, the opener for Ball State. Pruss pushes it forward across the midfield line on the far side for Brooker. Brooker in front of her coaches, loses the ball. And now Jeffers taken down, no foul. Ball State wanted contact. There was contact, but no whistle. Far side, switch of the play, and the ball off the feet of Devers and out of play for what I believe will be a throw-in just inside of that touch line with 29 minutes to go in this game. Cardinals backed up into their own zone, and Ohio will bring pressure off the throw-in. Throw goes long, trying to get it up over the heads of the defenders, but it's Zhang who's able to head it down. Barish for Ohio. Kaufman back to Barish. Barish near side, pressured by Fenchel. Left foot pass to Brooker. Brooker one touch to Burchett. Burchett to Devers. Devers searching for space. Onto her right foot, cuts it back, taken away by Millis, who feeds it to Frazier, and it's cleared away by Jordan Jeffers.
And for Devers, that's an example where she had 4, 5, 6 touches when she could have passed it for Brooker and had a more accurate shot.
Here's Weller for the Ohio Bobcats. And now Kaufman. Kaufman to her right. On the near side, it's Devers who chips one, who bounces once into the 18, and Brooker sliding down. She goes down. No calls for a penalty, though, and they weren't going to get one anyway, as the pass is now deflected off of Zhang, able to keep it in on the far touchline. Ohio not done yet. Service in, looking for Burchett, and the header flashes wide of the far post. Who is it off of? They say it was off of the Cardinals, and it'll be an Ohio corner kick on the near side with 27.5 to play here in Muncie.
And this will be the third time we see Barish there for the kick. So the real question is going to be, are they going to try and do a short kick like they did earlier, or are they going to really try and force it in the middle, in about the 18-yard box?
We've seen 2 corner kicks. They've gone with each of those directions once. They go low this time. Shot on, and it's high. That sat down for Rayanne Pruss. It was a low line drive into the 18, found Pruss on the near post, and she skied it.
And that is one of the most frustrating shots you see when you're a forward. You just get those sky balls, and it's never going to get in the back of the net, and that's just always frustrating because that would have been a perfect shot.
Well, it's so tough to keep those low when you're unable to take a touch and calm it down. You've got to hit it. You've got to strike it with power, but unable to find the balance that time, and it went long. It's Konopatsky on the ball for Ball State. We're in minute number 64.
And the big thing we have seen for this second half is every time Ohio is getting those shots, they're doing those give and goes, the 1-2 passes and immediately giving it to someone else. That's been very successful.
Here's Chester running through the defense. Addie Chester outside of the 18 on her right foot, taking a shot. Oh, and it just flashes wide far post. Addie Chester, who has not found many opportunities today, had the best look she's had all afternoon and just missed to the left.
You saw the speed. You saw the effort. It just flies way too far. But that's what Ball State needs to do. They need to start getting those shot opportunities. It's almost the issue that Ohio was having, to where they weren't getting that many opportunities. Now, because of those 1-2 give and goes, we've completely shifted to where Ball State's been on their heels the entire game.
Ohio looking to work it forward. The ball is on the feet of Devers, who pushes it forward, but it's taken away by Kaylin Vallow, who's into the game. Ball State with a few substitutions. We'll get you those shortly. Kylie Archer also into the game for Ball State.
So now with those substitutions, can they bring the energy that Ball State needs? Because you saw so far for Ohio, they've had a lot of energy, and that's why they've been able to get these shots.
Ball rolls into the 18 on the Ball State defensive half. It's gloved by Konopatsky, who's able to slow things down. Tori Monaco once again in for, this time, Fenchel. Caldwell stays in. Or rather, Caldwell comes out for Elena Quinn, excuse me. Devers goes low, and it's taken away. Roper pushes it to the side for LG Moncrief, who's also into the game for Ball State.
Tell you what, LG Moncrief is one of those freshmen who I really think is at a heck of a freshman campaign. She's been able to hit the back of the net twice. She may not get all the playing time, of a starter, but she has a bright future for Ball State.
Well, here she is on the ball. Gives it to her left for Archer. Archer thought about a shot. Goes low for Vallow. Vallow to Chester. Chester looking to tee one up. Onto her right foot into the 18. Finds some contact. Goes down, no call. We play on as Roush wins that battle in the 18. Dangerous tackle, but she wins the ball cleanly.
And when it's a 3-on-1 opportunity like that was for Addie Chester, it is nearly impossible to score.
Ball State will have a free kick on the far side of the field in between the corner flag and their bench, and it will be Addie Chester to take on the far side.
This is an example for Ohio where there have been a lot of questionable hits, and finally the official just has to give a foul there to potentially maybe calm down this Ohio team that has been very aggressive.
Free kick taken low into the near post. It's first touched by Anna Birch. It popped up in the air. Loose on top of the 18 for Archer. On her left foot, loses it. Pass blocked by Roper, and Roper will be called for a handball violation.
So you saw Roper was the intended target. She gets the pass to Archer, but the sophomore just had the Ohio Bobcats all over her. It makes it nearly impossible to attempt any type of a shot.
Battle for possession midfield. Ball State win it once again. It's Chester who's starting to look a little more comfortable. Addie Chester goes forward for Vallow. Vallow foot race with Sloma. Sloma dives down to her left to make the save.
And if Vallow would have been able to just get one touch before she could have had a shot, that looked like it would have been enough to hit the back of the net, but just too much of a heavy touch with the pass and ends up giving it back to the Ohio Bobcats.
It's Kaufman on the ball for the Bobcats on the near side. It's to Zhang, who's guarded closely by Vallow. The pass is played in between three Cardinals. It finds the feet of Brooker. Back to Zhang. Haley Zhang off of the referee, and the referee says play on. High pass right into the midsection of the referee, but Sean appears okay. Ball goes to the left wing, just on top of the 18 now for Brooker, who gets it to her feet with a slide. Still on the feet of Jamison Brooker. Working to her left, a sliding challenge, and now the ball finally cleared away by Ball State.
So the big thing here with just over 20 minutes to go is, can Ball State finally get some shots? Because Ohio has been playing with a lot of effort, and as there's a foul there, can Ball State use this to create an opportunity, or are they going to give it quickly away?
Coming up on the final 20 minutes to go, as there's a free kick in the middle third. Ball State on their own half of the field on the near side. Katie Murphy will service it long. High arcing ball for Roper and Chester, but instead in the middle of the two, it is Weller winning it. Player goes down in Elena Quinn, but the ball rolls all the way into the 18, and it's picked up by Sloma. 1-1, if you're just joining us, Avery Fenchel scored in the first half to give the Cardinals an early lead in the 13th minute, but early on in the second, Jamison Brooker scored for the Bobcats and put us where we are currently and as we stand. 1-1 with 20 minutes to go here in Muncie. Pruss, one hop ball to Brooker. Brooker on top of the 18-yard box. Takes a shot with the left. Brooker again. Beats Konopatsky left side. The Bobcats take the lead here in Muncie. What a game for Jamison Brooker. And Ohio have their lead.
And that is just another example of Jamison Brooker being in the right place at the right time. She just gets the 1-2 pass from her teammate, gets one pass, shoots it in, goal once again, and that's now her 5th goal on the year.
Ohio 2, Ball State 1. And the Cardinals will now be searching for answers. And Elena Quinn goes to the ground with a little bit of a limp on the left foot after trying to dive after that ball.
So the big thing now, what is Ball State going to do? Because they need to be getting a lot more accurate passes. That's one of the things we've seen, especially in this second half, is anytime there's been long passes, there's either been a heavy touch or just inaccurate passing, and it keeps giving it away to Ohio, and you cannot be doing that.
Well, with Jeffers and Millis out of the game, the Cardinals have moved out of their 5 in the back strategy as Devers runs up the right wing for Ohio. Into Brooker, who's now on a hat trick. Ball popped up in the air. Vallow and Zhang fighting for it. Haley Zhang able to bring it down, and it's cleared by LG Moncrief.
And that was another example. Devers the 1-2 to Brooker as she tried to get a shot once again. She's always right there at the circle at the 18-yard line for her shots.
Offside flag goes up. Ball State will receive the free kick. Scout Murray into the game once again for Anna Burchett. And Aubrey Ray, who started this match, comes in for Lillian Weller, who came in as a substitute in half number 1, but got the start in the second.
And one thing you saw was Ball State kind of subbed out some of their goal scorers. Ohio's doing the opposite thing. They're bringing in more of their goal scorers now.
Well, I don't think you can be comfortable with the 2 goals. And when you've had as much success as anyone's had in the MAC season against scoring against this Ball State defense, I think you just try to pour it on while you can. But here's Quinn with the turn. Quinn looking for options. She has Chester to her right. Chester running it down inside the touchline. 3 in the box for Ball State. Chester trying to turn the corner, bodies to the ground. Foul called, but on Addie Chester. A free kick for Ohio going the other direction as Chester opted not to cross the ball as she neared the end line. Instead, tried to turn upfield and lost the ball and conceded a foul.
And this is an example where, because Chester was not given the 1-2 and she decided to keep the ball herself, she's getting 5-6 steps. That defense right on top of her, preventing any chance of her trying to get a shot.
Officially a 71st minute goal for Jamison Brooker, her 2nd of the game, 5th of the season, to give the Bobcats the lead. Ball State trying to respond. It's Quinn with the first touch pass to Roper. Roper shields her body from the ball, gets it to Chester via Vallow. Up forward to Quinn, who touches it first time. That's Monaco. Monaco finds it on the unline, cross off the defender and out for a corner. And Ball State with a set-piece opportunity as 3 more substitutions get ready to come in.
So now the big thing.
And we will see the clock stop here as head referee Sean West runs over to the Ball State bench to have a conversation with Coach Josh Reif and the substitutes that we're planning on coming in. There's 3 substitutions set to come in for Ball State as Emily Roper will exit. I believe that's Alex McPhee coming on, as well as Caitlin Frazier back into the game. And if I'm not mistaken, Ainsley Schofel, who we haven't seen yet today, but played and started a significant amount of matches in the middle of this season before seeing her playing time slow down with the return of Jordan Jeffers. Corner kick coming for Ball State. From the far side of the field to the left of Celeste Sloma. It'll be an in-swinger when it's delivered from Addie Chester. Chester, hands up in the air, now goes low, and the first to get there is an Ohio Bobcat. They go out of the area, and now we're on the counterattack. It's Aubrey Ray. Ray with options to her right in Brooker. Brooker is the intended target, but the pass didn't have the juice on it, and it's cleared by Kylie Archer.
Archer had to throw that one out because there were only really 2 Cardinals left, as there's a yellow card to the coaching staff.
Not sure if it went to Josh Reif or to one of the assistant coaches. And a little bit of a message for the Ohio coaching staff as well. These are a couple of guys in Josh Reif and Aaron Rodgers who get along very, very well. We'll have 6 seconds added back on as the referee comes over and has some words with the scoring folks up here. But it's a couple of guys in Rogers and Reif that get along very, very well, and I don't think they were necessarily yelling at each other. Maybe both just sharing some shared frustration at the referees, and it was enough for a card on the Ball State side of things. Cardinals win it in the defensive third. They'll work the other way. McPhee chasing it down on the Ohio bench, plays it in front of her, but no, she was the farthest one upfield. It goes out for a throw-in, and Ohio take over.
I think if I want to use a word to describe these coaches, I think I'd say passionate. They really always have a lot to say, which makes this interesting. You know, sometimes you have coaches, they're more calm, cool, and collected. It's not exactly Josh Reif or Aaron Rodgers. But now the thing is, with just about 15 and a half minutes to go and Ball State down 1 goal, majority of the offensive scorers outside of Addie Chester are gone. So the question is, will we have a new Cardinals step up? Because this is somewhat of a younger team with the amount of players now on the field.
15 minutes to go here in half number 2. I'm hearing from the scores here in the press box with us that the yellow card was assessed to Peyton York, one of the Ball State assistant coaches, as that ball is cleared away by Ball State. There's 15 minutes to go here at the Reiner Sports Complex. Ohio leading the home side, the Ball State Cardinals 2-1, but with time for that to change on either side as the Bobcats control possession. Ball State with a couple of scoring options currently on the bench in Fenchel and Caldwell. Addie Chester in the game right now. Emily Roper also on the bench at the moment.
You see Addie Chester telling her teammates they need to come up. They need to be options.
There's a lot of players in the midfield just walking right now in the Cardinal and white. Addie Chester and Alex McPhee, the two that are really putting on pressure right now. And now comes Kylie Archer to challenge the pass, and she has forced a takeaway, throw in Ball State, much to the displeasure of Emma DeVeers, who thought that that pass was off of Archer. Referee says no. Ball State put it back into play, head it forward, intended for Vallow, up over her head. Aubrey Ray brings it down at the right foot. DeVeers pushes it forward, back to Ball State and Vallow. Vallow takes some contact to the right shin, no call, takeaway. Ohio move left to right at midfield. Up over the top, looking for Brooker. Brooker heads it up into the air, fighting with Schofel for the ball. Now it's Archer who takes a body bump. Ball State head it clear. Vallow brings it down, but now the ball's behind her. Ray took it off of Vallow, but is called for a foul, and Ball State get bailed out here in the defensive third.
For Ball State, for those defenders, you have to clear the ball there. You can't be just giving passes to each other, whether you're a left back or a center back. When you've seen this Ohio attack be very strong, you cannot just keep it back there. You have to either clear it forward or clear it out.
Archer tries to find a runner in either McPhee or Chester, but no run was being made. Ohio clear it out just in front of the near side. We're going to have a massive encore of substitutions here as Fenchel, Millis, Jeffers, and Caldwell all return for Ball State. Vallow, Monaco, McPhee, and Archer all off for the Cardinals. Ella DeVeers comes out for Ohio. We'll get you her substitute when we can, but I believe into the game is Riley Mensel. Chester goes low for Murphy. The clock temporarily stopped on those substitutions since we're under 15 and a leading or tied team made a substitution.
And it's interesting where we went from really keeping 5 defenders back to now only having 3, even when Ohio has scored 2 goals. And usually it's basically been a center back and a winger every single time back there.
It's Ahern who dumps it back to her keeper in Konopatsky. The Cardinals went into the halftime break with the lead. We talked about the decision to have Konopatsky go the full 90 for the second consecutive match. But here in the second half, the Cardinals on the defensive side have conceded twice. Throw in for Ball State on the near side now. Under 12 minutes to go in half number 2. Ohio coming up on the brink of a comeback win. They sit third in the conference. Ball State sits sixth. And with the postseason looming, these points are crucial. Frazier receives the low pass. Rolls it onto her left foot. Dumps it off for Schofel. Schofel to the middle of the field for Fenchel, who's back in off the bench. LG Moncrief now in the center circle. Kicks it back for Ahern to Jeffers. Pass too far out in front of Jeffers. It rolls out, but will be a Ball State throw right down Broadway midfield on the far side. Jeffers with the high throw, trying to get it up to Caldwell, but it's sought after and taken away by Nora Roush. Counterattack is on for Ohio, but Caitlin Frazier steps in and grinds it to a halt. And here's Jeffers. Jeffers to Chester. Chester turning onto her right foot, trying to go up the wing. The pass is deflected and pushed out by Pruss. Another Ball State throw, this time in front of the substitutes. Caldwell off the throw, right back to Chester. Caldwell turns onto her left, goes up over the top, trying to find the run of Fenchel, but it's taken away. Only so far as Caldwell, who puts it back into the 18. Now the ball is cleared up into the air to the center circle, where it's brought down by Scout Murray. Murray for the Bobcats across the midfield line. Barish on the ball, off the pass from Burchett. Battle on the far touchline in front of the scoreboard. And Pruss able to control possession for the Bobcats. To Aubrey Ray. Ray trying to turn onto her left. LG Moncrief down to her knees to slide and push that ball to the touchline. Kept in and now whipped into the 18. Ohio. Aubrey Ray. Loose 18-yard box. Whistle staying in the pocket after a near handball by Ohio. Now whipped in top of the 18. Loose. Pushed away and cleared by LG Moncrief into space, where Maya Kaufman for Ohio will take it back. Kaufman gonna try it from distance, and that one whistles way up high, out over the catch net and into the neighbors. It'll be a goal kick and a new ball into play here at Briner as we close in on the final 9 minutes of play.
So for Ball State, this has been another example where that last time by, they could have cleared it out. The players kept it and then ended up throwing it to space where no one was there, immediately turning it over to the ball. You cannot be doing that when you are down 1 goal in a critical match like this one.
On the ball for the Bobcats is Solis after the team's traded possession following the goal kick. Some pressure, a double team comes from the Cardinals. They get it back to Solis, who slides it behind her to Celeste Sloma. Ohio now the ones milking the clock after Ball State did that throughout the first half. Across midfield with a ton of room to run, Rayanne Pruss feeds it up the wing. That's Scout Murray. Has some options in the middle. Murray will shoot it herself, and it's blocked. Caldwell clears it to no one.
And this is the second time in a row. I like the effort from the Cardinals. You're just not being accurate. You're not passing to anyone on your team. You're just passing it to space, and it's ending up going to Ohio.
Well, and it's one thing as Maya Kaufman brings up the ball here, and she slides it to Burchett, back to Kaufman. Kaufman thinking about it, drives it low, and it's caught by Konobatsky. Under 8 to go. We're in the 83rd minute. But it's one thing, as I mentioned, to be able to evade the pressure and clear the ball, but you've got to clear it with purpose. You can't just whisk it away and hope someone's down there. There's options in Caldwell. There's options in Chester. Fenchel's down there somewhere, but you have to get your eyes up, read the play before just volleying it out of distance, because it's just a temporary fix if you just boot it into space. But here is Zhang on the right side for Menzel, and it's pushed off of Avery Fenchel with a clock stoppage coming with Ohio substitutions on the way. Ball State also making substitutions, and I think Coach Reif has seen enough from Delaney Caldwell as he'll bring Kaylin Vallow back into it. Schoeffel and Moncrief will also exit for Roper and I think that's Goodyear back in. So those two are starters back in, but Caldwell, who you would typically expect to be a impactful member here in these late game scenarios, has been put back to the bench in favor of Kalen Vallow.
Well, I mean, if you're going to keep just passing the ball to open space.
Here's a chance. Blocked off the shot. That was Barish, who went low, far post, just inside of the 18 on the right side. It's out for a corner kick with under 7 minutes to go in regulation. 2-1, Ohio lead Ball State.
And for the Ball State defenders, you see everybody getting in the box now. They need to be paying attention. And for Ball State, they have to win this in the air.
A chance for service now. It's Brooker who heads it in, and it is up high. The shot was taken by a unknown Bobcat. It was headed up high and out of danger. Did you get an eye on that one? Was it Burchett? It was Anna Burchett who headed it high and out off the service from Brooker. And now Ball State trying to find something. It's Roper who goes near side. One-touch cross from their own half. It's Goodyear who had space to take a touch but just volleyed it forward once again. Roper goes low for Chester. Chester turning the corner, taken down. That's got to be a free kick, and it is. Both players taking the brunt of the contact after that. Roper wanted to play it quickly, but the clock will stop here with 5 minutes and 37 seconds as Nora Roush went down hard after fouling Addie Chester.
And Nora Roush coming to Ohio out of Miami of Ohio, and she's one of the players that Coach Aaron Rodgers had a lot of great things to say.
It'll be Katie Murphy to take the free kick. The clock still stopped with 5.5 minutes to go. Roush having some conversation with our head referee. The free kick will be brought back 3 feet with Fenchel and Murphy standing over the ball. It'll be a 2-player wall for the Bobcats. Murphy hands the free kick off to Fenchel, who will now take it. The Cardinals set up for the free kick with 4 bodies on the left side of the wall, 3 to the right. This shot will be from right down the middle. We'll see if Fenchel goes for goal or services it in.
This has to
Avery
be accurate.
Fenchel to take it. Goes strong to the net, and it whistles over. It looked really good, but just a little too much air under it in the end, and Slomo was able to let it fall over the crossbar.
This is something that you're going to look back at the replay, and you're going to be thinking this was a must-score scenario with just over 5 minutes to go.
Stop. Clock stopped once again as maybe a little bit of a delay of game. Saloma waiting to take the goal kick. 5 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock as we near 85 minutes gone here in Muncie. 2-1 Ohio lead after 2 second-half goals from Jamison Brooker to erase the lead created from Avery Fenchel in half number 1. Jostle for possession. Roper goes down, no call. Turning the corner for the Bobcats temporarily was Aubrey Ray. They give it back to the keeper in Sloma, who goes long to the right side. Back to Ray. Guarded closely by Frazier. One-touch pass. Finds Burchett. That's Barish. Barish to the center circle. Working around the left side now is O'Rourke. O'Rourke to the wing for Pruss. Pruss guarded closely by Jeffers. Trying to turn to the right, and there's Emily Roper to bring that attack to a halt. But there's a giveaway in the defensive end. Ball popped up in the air. Murphy and Ahern unsure of who's supposed to go for it. Still loose, now on top of the 18, and it's picked up by Aubrey Ray. Ray evades a sliding challenge from Frazier, but a heavy touch gets it taken away by the Cardinals. It's Katie Murphy who draws a foul, and you can hear the displeasure of the Ohio fans and players on the far side. It's Chester. Chester with some room to run, has an option on the right wing. It's Jeffers. Jeffers with the service in and a chance. That is saved. The follow-up is in. Offside flag goes up. It will not count. And Ball State cannot believe it. The first shot was saved. The second shot off the crossbar and in. And we will have a yellow card for dissent once again, given to Avery Fenchel, who voiced her displeasure to the referee.
As someone who has done that before, there were the certain words you can't say that's going to get you a card every single time. But I can understand her frustration. As an offensive player, that is the worst case scenario.
And you'd have to watch the replay to see whether the attacker was just a step beyond, because that service in from Jeffers was picture perfect. It'll be a throw for Ohio on the near side coming up on 3 minutes to go in this game. Ohio still with the 2-1 lead after Ball State's goal is disallowed. Murphy looking for options to her right, finds Ahern just inside the midfield line of the Ball State defensive half, goes back to Konopatsky, who dribbles the ball down for Roper. Murphy goes line drive to Chester, who's taken down, no call. They say they got the ball. Brooker going the other way with under 3 minutes to go. Has an option in the middle in Burchett. Jamison Brooker, who scored a brace in the second half, gonna slow things down, use the clock to their advantage. Guiding it toward the corner flag now. Ahern not challenging the ball quite yet. Here comes the double team. The ball just coasting along the touchline, still in play. Excellent job from Brooker to fiend off the Ball State attack. A stop of a clock again, and I think a card may come out once again. Or perhaps just a stop of the clock to make sure that time won't be wasted. An interesting stoppage this time. Rayanne Pruss having a conversation with the head referee, who's beckoning Rayanne Pruss to come off the pitch. This is going to be a forced substitution. Not sure if there's some blood on the right knee of Rayanne Pruss, but our head referee, Sean West, whistled it immediately and beckoned her off the pitch. She's going to stay off here as Ohio bring in a substitute with just over 2 minutes to go.
Definitely a unique last few minutes here, and now with just 2:21 to go, Ball State is going to need to get a good throw in here. Cannot turn it over, which they did.
They get it back. It's Goodyear who goes low, but only as far as O'Rourke. Mensel chipping it high left side. Jeffers able to head it down, but Brooker still able to track it down. Brooker goes short near post, and the shot is saved. 2 minutes to go. Konopatsky gonna bring it out. Outside of the 18, Konopatsky, after she dropped it down to her feet, boots it long. Ohio, the first to get there, and they boot it right back. Brooker and Ahern a race to the soccer ball on the far side, and that's last touched by Ahern. She wanted it to go the other way, but it'll be an Ohio throw with 90 seconds to go in the 90 minutes here at the Briner Sports Complex. A call for the clock to stop here, although the clock is still rolling. 1 minute and 25 seconds to go.
Trying to avoid time wasting on that throw-in, and now our official talking to the fourth official on the sideline.
Yeah, Coach Aaron Rodgers very, very unhappy with the fourth official, who's standing on the far side by the auxiliary scoring table, now having a conversation with, that's Sean West. The assistant referee today is Ali Banane, and he is getting his work in with his left ear from Aaron Rodgers. We'll just say that. Rodgers now having a conversation with Sean West. So the Ohio throw comes in. The clock restarts with under 90 seconds to go. That's last touched by Jordan Jeffers, and another Ohio throw. Will Ball State even get another chance? Off the throw, and Jeffers guides it out once again, trying to push it off Brooker, but just couldn't get the contact. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Coming up on the 90th minute of play here, as once again Ohio just bring it into the corner with Burchett. They push it out. still alive. In play for Brooker. Brooker goes down and takes the Cardinal with her. Still no call. Brooker still on the ball. This is phenomenal work from Ohio to waste time in the far corner. It's Burchett on the ball now. The Cardinals just unable to work it out. They now finally win a goal kick with under 40 seconds to play. They've got to hustle. So many bodies on the left side, they've got to switch it quickly. Konopatsky going to go long, but didn't get the sweetest of contact. Jeffers pokes it up into the air. It's headed on to Chester. Chester on her right foot, took some contact, wanted a foul, and she is a little slow after that contact. Vallow pushes it upfield, but no one up there for Ball State. Final 10 seconds to go.
10, 9,
Burchett goes long with it all the way to Konopatsky, and time is going to run out on the Cardinals. Full time. Here in Muncie, Indiana, the Ohio Bobcats with a resounding second half comeback win. Jamison Brooker, the player of the match, with 2 goals in half number 2. The Ohio Bobcats storm back here in Muncie and steal the 3 points from Ball State in the Cardinals' penultimate home game of the 2024 season. What a response in the halftime locker room for the Ohio Bobcats, who take the 3 points.
There's a reason why this is a still now Ohio Bobcats team that's undefeated in the MAC and has only lost to a ranked team in Michigan State. You've seen that they are really good. And I tell you what, it was a heck of a first half for Ball State. I think it kind of shocked Ohio. And but man, this second half, it was all Ohio. They led possession. They were getting accurate passes. That is exactly what Aaron Rodgers wanted his Ohio Bobcats to do. And for Coach Reif, this is going to be an interesting film study for sure, because there's going to need to be some things probably changed with now 4 games left in the season.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you, Max. And for the Cardinals, it was a match that they looked in control of for the vast majority until about 30 minutes to go. But the Ohio Bobcats find the offensive answers they were looking for, picking up not 1 but 2 goals. Jamison Brooker with one of her best games in an Ohio uniform. The Cardinals in the white uniforms coming over to our left side right now, saluting the fans. But it will be a disappointing lack of result for the Cardinals, who drop to the Bobcats this afternoon. 2-1's the final. That'll wrap up our coverage here on the SportsLink Digital Radio Network. We hope you join us on ESPN Plus, a Ball State SportsLink production on August 24th, the final Ball State soccer home game of the 2024 season. We'll see you next time as the Ohio Bobcats defeat the Cardinals 2-1 here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.